Picking the strawberries. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Would you look at that? That's a strawberry. Want one? Let's make some. All right. Cheesy intro aside, today we're going to make some little, I don't know what you call them, Scandinavian type giant strawberries. These are little chip cut seeds, little whittled little leaf on top. I really like them. I think they're a fun little project. I debated even making a video because I'm not going to whittle it from scratch. We're going to take a piece of 2x2 basswood. I'm going to show you the dimensions, and I'm going to cut it, rough it out in the bandsaw, or we'll be whittling for hours on here, and that's not my goal. We're going to do a quick little tutorial, so I'm going to show you how I set it up, and I'm going to cut it out, and we'll go from there. So, like I said, 3.5 inch tall 2x2 basswood. I'm going to roughly find center here. Yep, that'll work. So on the center, I'm going to create a little square in the center, right, like that. And I want to leave lots of room for that stem, all right? Then I'm going to come down, what, 1/2 inch, right, all the way around. And that gives me the height of the stem. See that? Okay, go to the bottom, roughly find center again. Just guidelines, but I bring that out to each side. Now, that is, I did a round bottom on this one. You could do a flatter bottom if you want and have them stand up, or even put a flat angle on it for it to not roll around on your table. But so for this one, we're just going to do this exact strawberry, and what you do with it is up to you. Now, I will say this though, these 2x2 by 3.5 inch strawberries, that's a big strawberry. But I've tried the 1x1, I tried the 1.5 inch, it was okay. But to get these proper chip cuts, I like the 2x2, just to get so you have a bigger seed and a bigger chip cut. The little fiddly chip cuts I did not like in the 1x1, but you can take the concept to a 1x1 and just paint the seeds on, right? So anyway, I'm going to give you one more measurement. If that's 1/2 inch, let's go down 1.5 inches, and for lack of a better term, call that the shoulder, all right? Call that the shoulder of the strawberry, all right? That's just like the turning point, all right? So if we could just kind of trace on, every strawberry is different. So let's say that's 1/2 inch, right? It's gonna come down to that shoulder area, all right? That's center. We're gonna leave a little bit on each side. That's all we're doing. Just a basic shape. Right? And then we transfer that. Alright. So I'm gonna take this to the bandsaw, and I'm gonna cut it out both ways, and I'll come back with the rough out, because you can whittle this, and if you have time, go for it. But for the video's sake, we're gonna be quick. There you have our little roughed out, extremely roughed out strawberry. So I'm gonna put my carving glove on. When you're holding these things that are round, it's they're super slippery. So put my carving glove on, at least for now. And all I'm gonna do is just start taking these corners off. Going around, rounding everything. Boy, I tell you what, just in the time it took for me to go and cut that out, I looked to the to the west, and the sky is black again. What is it? Almost 9 o'clock in the morning. We've had lots of rain, so I was not aware that rain was coming again, but if we can't finish it up out here, we'll finish it in the workshop. That's just some glue. When I cut these, I hot glue, put a drop of hot glue, and put the piece back on to keep a flat surface on the bandsaw table. Yep. Okay. Just going to clean up the top here. That end grain is where you see what your knife's got. If you got some white lines, it's not sharp enough. And see, I said keep that a little bit heavy, the stem, because I'm always cutting into it, and it gets smaller quick. So just getting all the saw marks off. Before we move on. Right. Oh, what the heck, let's round it. Round it, this means taking the corners off. Right. That is flat plane round. Some little facets. There, we've done something. The stem is done. Alright. Actually, it's not even done. One little... Alright. Again. Lots of rounding to do. We want no sign of squareness. I think well, I can kind of see that. But choked right up on my knife to give a little more horsepower. Back fiddling with that stem again. And over here. So basically I'm just taking the corner, working it one way, going the other way, working it the other way. So I go to the next corner, take those corners off, create a corner, knock off a corner. Create a corner, knock off a corner. Just like so. And we'll start right here, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take that corner right off, then ride the corner again. Take the corner off, create another corner. Might as well finish off the bottom here. But this is not our total shape yet. And we can finish the bottom nicely like this, but we don't want to finish the middle section yet because we have the greenery to do, right? So let's get that nice and round, and we'll draw in some leaves, and then we can go around and cut up underneath to them, right? If I would look at that there, I'm probably as high as the stem with the leaf down, all right? So, and again, this is not critical, but this is a rough guideline. Give yourself another 1/2 inch. So If the shoulder was 1.5 inches, that was a half, just split the difference somewhere, right? And all we're going to do is we're going to draw a straight line, like so. I'm going to split that one in two. Alright, so I'm going to straight. They don't have to be perfectly symmetrical, they can all be different. But all I'm going to do now, you can see that, I'm going to create some leaves, some petals. What do you call them? Leaves or petals? I guess they're leaves. Stem leaves. And this is rough because our knife is going to give us a final story. But some can touch, some don't have to touch. You can scribble like I am. And basically that's what we're going for. See that? Put my glove back on. And I'm going to start with just some chip cuts. Alright? So I come in, come down, come across, so, right? So I'm saying the knife is gonna, our drawings are just guidelines. We don't want to dig, we're not digging in, we're gonna go across like that. Right. It's gonna be a few times in this video. I want this video to be a little bit quicker than a typical video, so once I get rolling here, we're gonna do some little sped up areas, right? So, okay, so we've done little chip cuts in between all leaves. Now I'm just gonna put my knife in, cut up to it like that, right? So really, it's just a couple cuts. And while we got it, we can keep rounding. All right, we're gonna keep doing that all the way around. When we're satisfied that we've done that, got our shape there, we'll just go and do some little V cuts on top, in between, like so. Just separating the leaves a little bit. Now we'll just get our pencil marks off each one. Right. Then we'll go leaf by leaf. And we can undercut the edges a little bit if we want. Right. And we can roll our knife a little bit on the petals, give a little texture, a little bit of chatter doesn't hurt. All right, and then we can even do a V-cut. We can do one. We can layer the heights even. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, work my way around. All right, I'm gonna set that aside for now, and we're gonna talk about our seeds. All right. Before we even start the seeds on our strawberry, we better practice, okay? So this is my seed. I'm just gonna put a little plus symbol, all right? And these are not perfect. The paint, I mean, it hides a multitude of sins. So don't get caught up on perfection, but the concept is we make a little plus mark, we put our knife in on an angle, more than a 45, ideally, right? And if we go bigger, or if we go a little bit long, that's okay. You're never going to see these cuts this way, right? But when we turn it this way, I can put my tip of my knife here. I'm just going to kind of pull it over as I cut. One way, come down, just kind of pulling it over, and hopefully I leave a little chip. Again, that's not a perfect chip, but it's just going to be a seed. See that? That's your seed. That's it. Ideally, that pencil mark is gone, and it's just a whisker short of it. But you can touch these up if you want. But again, perfection, throw it out the window, because you're going to get so sick of doing it. You just want something that holds a little bit of yellow paint indented. All right. So by doing that, let's just do a couple here. You gotta come up with some random formula. I found I was starting in the bottom, and it's a little bit seed heavy if you try to do symmetrical, so you really can't. You really just got to go as I start symmetrical. All right. So let's just do a few of these. And work your way around the strawberry. But all I'm going to do, take my knife, in, like I said, they're not going to be perfect. They're going to be it's just something to hold a little yellow drop of paint. They don't have to be the same size either. I'm just going to do one this way. It's nice to do little groups like this. Kind of speeds it up. I'm no chip carver, that's for sure. See, I popped one right there. So don't rush. You're not filming yourself. Take those pencil marks off, or not. You're going to paint them anyway, right? So if your tip gets underneath the seed, you're gonna end up losing it, right? That's the idea. So what happened here? Well, I just screwed that one up, so I can do it again. Or in the bottom of that hole, I know I have one in this one, just put a drop of that yellow paint in the bottom of the hole. But you've got a lot of wood too, so you can always recarve it. Take that pencil mark off of there. All right. that's how we do our seeds. So I'm going to finish at least one side. Off camera. And that'll be it. Okay, there is one side done. Let me just put some water on here. Why water? Just to show you. It shadows everything nicely. There's the thunder. All right. So I marked it all the way around, but I'll just wet the whole thing, make it look nice and pretty. So there is our greenery on top. Like I said, you can add some texture and whatnot. But why am I doing this now? Forget. But there's our chip carve. So practice your chip carves before you dig into your strawberry. But anyway, I think this is a real fun project. So there you go. I beat the rain. I think it'll be just minutes. So carve yourself a little strawberry. It's a fun little project, like I said, and what a great practice on those chip cuts to get making something different, totally something different. All right. So paint. You're gonna ask me. I just lightly watered down the red. I did not make it soupy. Just a little bit of water just to make it flow nice. I painted the red first. Then I painted the greenery. What red is that, you say? Santa red. It doesn't matter. Red is red. Green is green. I don't get caught up with the what kind of paint. It's just acrylic craft store paint. Cheap, doesn't matter. But I painted the I can't even read it. Hunter green first coat, right? And then first coat was hunter green, and then I just took like a lighter green. This is like a moss green, and just did some little dry brushing on top. And then for the seeds, I can't, this is antique gold. It's just a dirty yellow, right? And then I did a little bit of waxing on there. And if you want, you can you can water down some brown paint and drop it over the yellow. That'll be a real finicky job, but if you want to kind of antique those seeds, or you can find wax that has a color in it, or you can color Howard Feed wax with some oil paint and mix it up. But anyway, there's your little strawberry. This was my practice one. You can see it's got a couple of dirty spots on it, so I don't show it too much, but I like it. Something totally different and fun, and fun little summer project. So, all right, see you in the next one.